They put Sailor Moon on what now? Hey everyone, this is Kevin T. Rodriguez, film critic of iCritic.net, and I'm a fairly big Sailor Moon fan. I think it's obvious if you've watched my channel for a long time. I typically do review some Sailor Moon products. I talk about Sailor Moon news. I know it's a show for kids, but it's a personal favorite of mine. It helped me a lot growing up. I'm still enjoying it, even on a more ironic level today. In fact, one of my favorite moments of this year, at least the top five, and it sounds so silly, it clearly does not top my wedding or anything like that, but when this thing hit store shelves, this is Sailor Moon Stars, the 5th season, this thing never came to America before. There's a lot of speculation as to why it didn't. Some people said it was just too edgy. The dub companies didn't want to dub it. Some people say that Toei Animation didn't want to license it because of the final 2 episodes, which were fairly violent and had some non-graphic nudity, and Sailor Moon was primarily a kids show. It is a kids show, and they didn't want to have the controversy. Whatever the reason was, I wanted to buy. My collection has always felt incomplete, and look, we have it. There's one more set to go, and then I will have all of Sailor Moon on DVD, Blu-ray combo packs, movies, specials, all of it, and I will have a collection of Sailor Moon. For the first time ever, it will be complete. And so I'm a big Sailor Moon fan. That was a highlight of the year for me. And I have bought the manga series I don't know how many times, once in the mixed comics, the individual issues, then the mixed signed graphic novels, then the Kodansha releases, and then the Eternal editions, which I'm rebuying again, and I'm going to be buying it digitally soon so that I can take it with me to go. And I have a lot of the CDs and the merchandise. I even have an action figure, which you can't see in this video, but I have it. And yet there are some things you just shouldn't do. And this is one of them, and the title says, Japan is giving out free Sailor Moon condoms for STI awareness. Wow, where to begin with this one? So, before I comment, let's kind of just look at this and see what the thought process is behind this. So the Japanese government and its partners have started giving away free Sailor Moon themed condoms. Japan's Ministry of Health, in partnership with Labor and Welfare HIV Awareness Organization, Act Against AIDS, and Okamoto Lovers Lab, a division of Japanese condom maker Okamoto Condoms, is giving away free condoms as part of its movement to raise awareness about sexually transmitted diseases, as well as promote the importance of HIV testing, according to the Sailor Moon official website via Sora News 24. And this is what it looks like. And you gotta love, like, 25th anniversary. Now that's kind of a nice little touch, because it kind of goes to show that there's like a lot of people, myself included, who have grown up on Sailor Moon, and that's why Sailor Moon has a lot of adult fans, because we have fond memories of them, and we pass them on to our kids and our nieces and nephews. Like, we especially nowadays, I mean, it's actually kind of interesting, because ever since Sailor Moon came out, there still have not been that many superheroes made for females, for little girls. So I see, like, my nieces, watching, all these male-oriented superhero shows and movies that Disney produces that really don't cater to her, even though she kind of enjoys them. And she likes superheroes, but she wants, she wants female superheroes, and she's too young to watch Wonder Woman. So we're going to show her Sailor Moon in like a year, and it's like that's probably going to be like a big deal for her. And so, yeah, 25 years, we're growing up, but it's still a kid's thing, and you're putting a kid's image on a condom. A condom. I mean, never mind how uncomfortable that idea is. Now, what's the reason for doing this? Let's see here. There are... let's see here. Okay, so it's actually... So, this article doesn't actually give the reason. I should have used the other one. I'm sorry about that. But the way that I understand it is that basically syphilis has become a much bigger problem recently. Like, I know it's become like there's been like a surplus of people catching syphilis in America. And apparently that's the same thing with Japan. So they wanted, the Japanese government wanted to use a superhero to basically spread the information that you got to be careful out there and you got to use protection, which is a noble gesture, I admit. Now, I don't know what they're doing for the guys. I think it actually, personally, I think it would be funny. I think it'd be funny if they had Goku-themed condoms because of what that implies. But they wanted to reach out to girls with this promotion, I guess we'll call it. And this is kind of way like, to encourage girls to use protection. But again, you're using a character whose show is primarily watched by 8 to 10-year-olds. That's not a subject I want to broach with my 10-year-old daughter at that point. I don't want to have to explain what a condom is. I don't think that's an appropriate age to have that discussion. Now, again, I don't know exactly what characters they could use for adults that are as relevant as Sailor Moon, because Sailor Moon is still very popular. I do admit it will catch people's attention. That's why we're making this video and talking about it. I mean, maybe you could use Kagome from Inuyasha. I don't know. Is that still a thing? Rumiko Takahashi, she's made Maison Ikoku and Ranma Half. Like, can you use any of her characters? Maybe one of the characters from One Piece, although One Piece is kind of generally regarded as a family show as well, even though it's very PG-13 violence level. I don't know. It's just the idea of putting Sailor Moon on a condom. Like, look at that. That actually kind of looks like a candy. It looks like a chocolate candy. And I don't know. Years ago, I'm talking about years ago, Jay Leno on The Tonight Show, he did this segment once in a while called Stuff I Found on eBay. And he kind of shows like really weird things I find on eBay. And he kind of asked the audience if it was sold or not sold. And then they reveal whether it was sold or not sold and how much it sold for. At one point, he found Peanuts panties with Charlie Brown and Snoopy and Woodstock on them. And people like laughed very uncomfortably for good reason. And they were starting out like $10. And he asked sold or not sold. And most people said not sold. And it didn't sell. And Jay Leno was like, yeah, I guess some things are just too sacred. I kind of agree. This should have fallen under that category. I think Sailor Moon's too sacred to be putting on condoms. Now, I hadn't planned this. I'm really curious, so forgive me. But we're going to do like a Jay Leno type thing. We're going to actually... I kind of decided to do this at the last minute now that I thought about it. Are these things selling on eBay, and what are they selling for? So let's see here. I feel dirty just writing this down, but let's see here. Let's go here. Search. It's low. Okay, you can't see it, but the bars are circling. So we have the poster. Is that it? So I'm seeing a rubber coaster. I'm so far just seeing the poster. I'm not actually seeing the condoms themselves. Like, let's look at this one. This really looks like the closest we have to oh, there it is. I think that's it. Yep, that's the condom. 8 sold. And they probably sold for about $43.39. See, that's... Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that at all. This has just been a very uncomfortable video for me to make. Look, I'm all for teaching about safe sex. I'm all for getting protection out there. I'm personally a big advocate for abstinence until marriage, but I know a lot of people aren't. So it's nice to have those tools available, that protection. But wow, that just kind of like opens up like a can of worms that I just I just, like, jeez. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about this one, folks. So I'm just gonna ask what is your honest opinion on this? I'd love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's optional, but even as little as $1 a month, you get interesting videos like this. Tell you what, to end this on on a good note, if you want to know read my print review for the Sailor Moon R movie, I'm gonna link to that below as well, so we can kind of just end this on a light note, I suppose. This is just weird. But anyway, yeah. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.